Hey everybody. So unfortunately I only have one DVD to show off for this video, but I did want to take this video to talk about Charlie Kaufman, the screenwriter and the director. Charlie Kaufman, guys, he is most well known for Adaptation. He was a screenplay writer and he was actually a character in the movie that Nicolas Cage portrayed in the movie. And he's well known for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind as the screenwriter. Michel Gondry directed. Synecdoche, New York, I know he directed. So, like I said, he's both a screenwriter and a director, and he, like I said, a character in Adaptation. So, Charlie Kaufman, guys, what I really wanted to talk about him in this video is I think he's a really neat guy when it comes to having a different perspective on film, in the sense that he's able to take a character like Being John Malkovich was another one, for example. He was screenwriter and Spike Jonze was director, kind of like the same case scenario with Adaptation, which they both later did. He's able to take a character that we really don't get to see a lot in the movies. Like, for example, in Being John Malkovich, it's about a puppeteer. In Adaptation, it's about a screenwriter. In Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, it's about a guy who, wants to lose memory of this relationship that was going so well, and then it just fell apart all of a sudden. Um, Synecdoche, New York. I think he did a theater director. I didn't get to see that one, unfortunately, but I heard it was very good. I think he did a theater director character for that. He's taken on some stuff that we don't get to see a lot in the movies. We're always seeing movies about action heroes and comedians and uh, doctors and businessmen and all this stuff that we see all the time. And Charlie Kaufman's like, well, what about those people we don't get to see a lot, like the screenwriters and the puppeteers, the people behind the camera, the people who actually write the stories that are being put on the screen of the movie that you're seeing. He said, what about those people? He's able to do that into his movies. And based off Adaptation and Being John Malkovich, and I have seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Unfortunately, I didn't really care for it as much as most people did. Just simply because, Adaptation and Being John Malkovich are just so much better. Um, at least in my opinion, they both are. He's just able to have this perspective, like kind of this slightly dirty-minded and yet so realistic take on those kind of people in real life. There's a scene in Adaptation where I don't think is it on here. No, it's not on here. Where Nicolas Cage is at his typewriter. I don't know why he wasn't at a computer, but anyway, he's just kind of thinking to himself, what do I write? Maybe if I had a coffee and a muffin, I would think better. Or, to begin, what do I do to begin? How do I open this? I want a muffin. No, now I want a coffee. He's able to do something like he's able to make you think like you're thinking like the character, and I really like that about Charlie Kaufman. And in Being John Malkovich, he's able to do a puppeteer, this little puppeteer who can work with his hand, and he's able to kind of have this weird social life with him going on. And he finds that door behind a cabinet later in the movie for those who've seen Being John Malkovich, and he's like, well, what would it be like if we were to enter John Malkovich's mind and become him for 15 minutes? He's able to come up with these really clever ideas. And so he's kind of one of those hidden people in the film industry where we know about him, we know what his credits are once he's mentioned, but he's unfortunately not as big as someone like Steven Spielberg or Michael Bay or James Cameron or any of those guys. Um, Charlie Kaufman, guys, I just really love his perspective. I think he's really good about comedy. He's good about how people realistically think. I really like how he's taking on stuff that we don't get to see a lot in the movies. I really like how he's able to take on something new, like, well, what if instead of just adapting this book into a story like they did with Adaptation, the Orchid Thief, rather than making just an Orchid Thief movie, what if we have it where it's about the screenwriter trying to make an adaptation of Orchid Thief, and he's also a part of that story that we're trying to adapt. He's able to add that perspective onto movies, and I think that's what's really cool about him. So I really wanted to take this video to talk about Charlie Kaufman, you guys. Like I said, he's kind of hidden. I have heard that he is going to do another movie with Spike Jonze soon, which is great because two movies that I really focused on in this video were Being John Malkovich and Adaptation, which are both films that he got to work with Spike Jonze, who's a director, and he got to be the screenwriter for both movies. So I'm hoping his next film will be along the line of both films. It'll be really fun to watch, really clever, a new perspective that we haven't seen yet for a movie. And Charlie Kaufman, if you're watching this video, or for those who know Charlie Kaufman, let him know, I love his movies. I hope he comes up with more creative stuff like he did in Adaptation. I just love that movie. I mean, it's just so clever and so creative, and I really hope to see more of what this man is capable of. So Charlie Kaufman, guys, great screenwriter and director. Make sure you check out some of his work, specifically Adaptation. You're really going to love this for those who haven't seen this yet. Uh, Really brilliant man.